Hello, hello, hello. Can you guys hear me? What's up, Leonard? Thanks for joining so promptly. Okay, let's get this thing started. We are going to make a tier list video today on the competitive tier list of how fun each character is to play. But of course, I mean by competitive means that, you don't just play for fun. Every character here you can play and have fun with them. But how fun is the character when you try to play them and actually try to win? Okay, that is the difference. Okay, so let's get this thing started. Before I start actually putting any characters on the tier, we're going to go through a little bit of how we do things here. You're going to see that there is an extra tier up here. It's called podium tier, which means that if, for example, I'm talking about Falcon, okay, I'm going to put Falcon on the podium first before starting to put, talk about him, because so many times when I see tier list makers, people talk about tier lists, they just keep going on and on about a character, and if you're like, hopping in, in the middle of the video or stream, you don't even know what character they are talking about until, you scroll back or you rewatch the VOD or something. So I'm going to put whoever I'm talking about up here first, and then we're going to talk about them. Okay, next you're going to see there's a lot of badges here that I made. Okay, these are going to be some of the qualities that I feel are important when it comes to how fun a character is. Okay, let's go through them. Okay, unique, quite straightforward. The character is very unique in its playstyle. It has its own gimmicks, it has its own mechanics, it has its own resource management. It doesn't play like a typical Smash character. So you get points for being a unique character. Next one will be engagement. Okay, engagement is a little bit more nuanced. Okay, some people find playing character like, Richter, which you just throw all your projectiles out, wall the opponent out, and set up traps on the ledge. That is, for them, they feel is engaging. To them, they're subjectively, but no, we're not talking about that here. We're going to talk about objective engagement of how often are you forced in the situation where you have to make decisions based off the state of the battle, as well as how your opponent is playing. So if your opponent is camping you out, do you camp him back, or do you just do whatever you have been doing if the person was rushing you down? Okay, so if you're the kind of characters where regardless of what the opponent is doing, you do your own stuff, I will find that is not an engaging character, because you're just playing single player and hopefully your opponent messes up and you win. Okay, next one, this is the one that is a little bit one of the the one that is most subjective here, because I will put people in the underdog tag if they are actually low tier, in the normal competitive tier list. So for example, Ganondorf, characters like who are the low tiers right now? Pichu or something, those characters that is actually not performing at all. A Duck Hunt, you get the underdog tag for, it's fun to play a character that is, kind of bad and win with it. Okay, that has its fun in it. Next will be hype move. As you can see, Ganondorf's Warlock Punch is charging up. Okay, hype moves are what the kind of moves where if you land it, everybody's go oh, the whole room goes wild. Okay, those are the hype moves. Everybody loves hype moves. So if your character has one of those kind of moves, it's a fun character. Of course, hype move usually are the kind of the bad moves And some bad moves are not hype moves. Example will be, you know, Mario's up tilt, you know, moves like Wario's jab or something. You know, those moves that actually just are bad, and even if you use them, it's not hype. Okay, the hype moves will be, you know, Warlock Punch, Falcon Punch, you know, Rest, Jigglypuff Rest, you know, Ridley's Down B, those kind of moves. So those will be our hype moves. And lastly will be our recovery. Okay, recovery. I'm going to bundle recovery with disadvantage state. Okay, one thing about disadvantage state is that some characters, it can be very, very fun to play for the, you know, when you're winning, when you're in neutral, but the very moment you get hit, you go into, like, you know, cutscene combos, or you have to spend your entire set trying to recover. You know, those characters, you know, however fun they are going to have like a small problem. Okay, so characters like Richter, which I love playing, it's very fun, but you know, when you're trying to get back on stage, you are not playing much of the game. You're just trying not to die. You know, you will get sent off stage, you have to air dodge, you have to guess the air dodge, you have to, you know, forward air at the correct time, don't get too framed, up B, all this kind of stuff. Those characters with a very bad recovery, they are typically not playing the game 1/3 of the time. So they get, you know, they get a point if your recovery is good, your disadvantage state is good. So in that case, a fun character would be a character that you can still play even if you are getting hit, you are losing, you are getting juggled, you are trying to recover. Okay, those will be our badges. Of course, the ratings and the tier will not exclusively be judged by these 5 factors, but they do get extra points if they, you know, if they have these qualities. Okay, I'm not sure if I do it in order or just pick randomly, but you know, I don't know why my tier list maker decided to put the character in this you know, in this order. I don't know what's the reason, but well, let's just stick to that. So we are gonna start with Captain Falcon. Okay. Captain Falcon. As you all know, there is Fatality. Every time Fatality is on stage playing a set, you know, playing in tournaments, everybody is cheering for Fatality. That is the reason why Falcon is so hype. Because first of all, Falcon Punch. Falcon Punch is very hype. It's a terrible move. It actually doesn't even look that cool if you land it. It's just like a fire punch, and the hit stun, the sound effect is just like a regular large hit, you know. So, but it is a consensus among Smash players that Falcon is hype, so he gets the hype points. Okay, he's not that unique. He's actually quite a straightforward brawler. Okay, engagement, he definitely gets a point because Falcon, you cannot play your own game. You have to navigate through projectiles. You have to, you know, fix your recovery because your recovery is quite exploitable. You have to do everything possible in order to get in before you start doing Falcon stuff. Underdog, I would say Falcon is not too much of a bad character. Definitely not all the way up top. He has some fundamental flaws, like, you know, being easily ward out by projectiles, by swords. You know, can be easily edge guarded by characters with, you know, like bowling balls, with disjointed downwards hitboxes, those kind of things. So he has 2 points for it, but because of how hype Captain Falcon is, he gets the honorary solo main tier right off the bat. Okay, so our first character, we already go into our S tier. S tier, which is our solo main tier. Very fun character to play. Okay, I am terrible at Falcon. Oh, before we continue, preface this. I do have every single character in Elite Smash, so I do know a little bit of each character. not the best. You know, some very specific text I may not cover. I may forget about it. You know, please forgive me. You can yell at me in the chat. You can leave me, you know, your thesis of why your character is more fun in the comments below.
Thesis what?
Yes, thesis. Okay, up next is Chrom. Yeah, Chrom.
Woohoo!
Hi, Gwen. Okay, later we will get to Zelda and you can talk about Zelda.
Okay.
Okay, up next is Chrom. Chrom is the most vanilla character of the entire game. He doesn't even have fire on his swords. You know, so he's just sword guy, whack your enemy with the sword stick. He does not have hype moves. Although he is actually semi-engaging to play, but most of the time he's just fishing for jabs, fishing for throws. So not too much engaging. Has a terrible recovery, so he can't even play a disadvantage well. He doesn't have underdog status because he's actually a pretty decent character, both for online and in a tournament setting. He is absolutely not unique, and I'm going to put Chrom into the Dao tier because he's so boring to play. Okay, you will pull out Chrom, you play one round with your friends and realize that, wait, I could be playing like Roy, I could be playing like any other sword characters and have more fun playing them. Okay, so Chrom players, I'm sorry. I will play Chrom if I get him in random. Next up is our boy Cloud. When this guy was released for, was reviewed for Smash 4, oh man, everybody going nuts. Okay, so Cloud, okay, we have limit. It's very fun. I love the limit mechanic. Really, and the sound effects, FF7, everybody loves it. Okay, he has hype move. Everybody knows of his hype move. He used to be super broken, but now he has been nerfed, so his hype move is actually pretty lousy. But the lousier the hype move is, the hypier it is. Hypier is the word now. Okay, so he has his finishing touch, which is super hype. Combo it from a falling up air into your finishing touch. That is the best feeling. Plus, he's kind of a good character right now. Everybody's putting him very high in the tier list, so he does not get the underdog status. He's quite engaging to play. You have to space his moves out. If not, he is actually very punishable. He has a very good out of shield option, so defending, playing defense is a viable option. He has a projectile to spam, which means, you know, you can zone somebody out if you think projectile is a way to go. So he has actually a lot of ways you can evolve your gameplay against your opponents. So I will give Cloud a very engaging play score. Okay. However, you know, his recovery is pretty poo-poo, not very good. So I love playing Cloud. He's quite a basic character to play, but you know, fundamentals are the most fun. Fundamentals are the most fun. So I can safely say Cloud, I can play Cloud all day. Goes up to the A tier. Okay, up next is our Daisy and Peach. I'm going to put Daisy because Daisy is more awesome than Peach. He has a much better voice actor. Daisy. Unique float mechanics. Give me Carpotano every time I try to play her. Okay. Hype move. She doesn't really have much of a hype move. Like, I would say 0 to death combos is quite hype. Pulling out bombs, pulling out... You know what? I'll give her a hype move. Because Bomb and a Stitch Face, the Old Man Radish, and Mr. Saturn, they are pretty hype. Okay, so we all love those one in 20 million chance of putting out 3 Stitch Face in a row. So I would say I'll give her the hype move. Very good recovery, a very good disadvantage state as well. You can store in the air, you can change up your attack angles. You can use a counter to stall your fall. You can use side B to change. You can run away from slow characters with side B. Engagement, pretty engaging. Her moves are actually pretty slow to start up. All her group moves are pretty slow to start up. So you kind of have to respect your opponent's game plan and try to navigate through their most of the time better frame datas. So Peach, Daisy, Solo Main. And funnily enough, most Peach players and Daisy players are Solo Main characters because it is very technical. You really need all of your day, all of your energy to practice this character. So Peach gets the Solo Main S tier. Next up is King Dedede. King Dedede down tilt to taunt. He gets a hype move because Neutral B. Neutral B is pretty fun. Plus, he has a very bad move that is down. Is it side special down? Down special, down special. The Rocket Hammer thing. It's a horrible move. Never use it. But boy, is it fun when you actually land it because you just straight up outplay your opponent. Engagement, not so much. You know, spam Gordo, jump around, the usual stuff. Doesn't really matter what your opponent is doing. Got a pretty good disadvantage state. Multiple jumps to change your recovery angle. Up B is pretty hard to punish with the armor, you know. And if the opponent wants to edge guard you with a poor aerial characters, you can just neutral B them, spit them out, and you know they accidentally meshed air dodge and dies. So he has quite a good disadvantage state. Given even though when you know he's a big body character and is a heavy and gets comboed all day, it's actually quite difficult to land kills on King Dedede. So disadvantage, yes. Terrible character, so he really gets the underdog tag, a seal of approval. Winning with this character is pretty funny, but he's not very unique. Unique in the wise that the Gordo has a slight unique mechanic, but not, I would say, not unique enough to warrant like true special character tier. Okay, so King Dedede, I actually say he's barely fun. Okay, I can see myself playing King Dedede for a long extent of time, but after a while, you know, you kind of just want to start doing some combos. You have to switch character. Next, we have Diddy Kong. Okay, Diddy Kong. First of all, I'm going to give him very engaging because he has command grabs. He has a super strange up B where you can turn yourself into a semi-puppet character. And he has items. Any character that can spawn items immediately gets a huge boost because, you know, Smash is supposed to be played with items. Items on. Play with items on, everybody. Okay, so the fact that he can spawn items into a game where everybody turns off their items is very fun. Has a kind of a bad recovery, to be honest, but it is fun to use. Okay, but I'm not going to give him that much of a point for disadvantage state. He's quite strong, so no underdog. He used to have an infinite. Now he still has like a pseudo one, but you know, it's really, really hard to do. But if you manage to get it, still pretty hype. Unique character. Banana is pretty unique. Well, it is like item that exists in the game, but only he can summon the banana pills. So I'll give him the unique. So Diddy Kong, I'm gonna say barely fine as well. Next, by the way, I'm picking all the characters with their best skin. So his best color is the moss color, the booger color. Okay, Booger Kong is best Kong. Okay, Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong, hype move, maybe. Cargo throw ding dong. That's actually pretty hype because, you know, it fundamentally makes a terrible character into such a good kill confirm. So it's almost like you know, everybody expecting it, but when it happens, it's always still so hype for some reason. Always get comboed, terrible recovery, gets camped out by projectiles. So low tier character, you know, playing a low tier character is always fun. So he gets the underdog boost. Not very unique, not very engaging. Because what else are you going to do besides dash attack, reverse back airs, and try to get a grab? So Donkey Kong, cool for 5 minutes. I see myself playing this with friends once in a while. Next up, let's go with Duck Hunt. Duck Hunt, I personally love Duck Hunt so much because he's like big brain character, and I wish I had big brain, so I try to play big brain characters. Very fun to play. A lot of properties on the can. How do you reverse? What moves do you use to reverse the can's trajectory when you press neutral B? The timing, the power of the can. How are you going to combo it with the random gunman that you summon? How do you trick your opponent off stage with can jacket? All these kind of things, very engaging to play. You're always it's one of those zoning characters that you actually have to calculate everything instead of just throw projectiles out and hope it hits. Okay, so fantastic character to play. Hype move, not so much. I guess the sombrero gunman into up air is kind of hype, at least for me, but I think to everybody else it's just whatever. So nah, I'm not going to let my bias get the better of me. Very unique character because you are basically playing two characters. Is the premium puppet character of Smash. Most people would think it would be like Ice Climber or Rosalina, but I think Ken functions much more independently than any of the Luma or, you know, Nana does. So I would think Duck Hunt is actually the most puppet character like in the game. Very unique, very fun. Underdog, because frankly speaking, Duck Hunt is such a good character, but is mired by the fact that his Q moves doesn't work. His Q move doesn't work. Up air doesn't work. Forward smash doesn't work. Down smash doesn't work. Up smash doesn't work. You know, so many times characters just randomly fall out of those moves. And they are not even SDIing. So, I'm sorry, Duck Hunt. I would put you in solo main tier, but your flaws with like just straight up moves not working sets you back to just barely fun. If it was up to me, I would put him all the way in solo main. Next up, okay, next up we have Falcon. Okay, Falco. Okay, Falco. We all love the Falco combos. Up tilt is very hype. Also very dumb. Such a good move. Okay. I would say Falco is one of those characters where you just pick up, you lap the combos, you go online and try to land the Seeker's combo video, and then you drop him after that. Okay. So Falco mains, I'm sorry. Okay. He is not too unique. He's not an underdog. The engagement, I would say, is at most sometimes you reflect the projectiles. You laser cam people off of town and cities platforms, and you know, so I'm gonna say, I'm sorry, Falco goes on the down tier. Okay. Next we have Fox. Okay, Fox. I know people think Fox, Falco almost the same character, but in Smash they actually play super differently. Fox doesn't really have that much combos. You know, at least 3 hits, 4 hits on fast forward at most. But Fox being so fast on the ground lets you play the neutral game, the spacing game so much better. You cannot rush in on characters with very good defense out of shields. So you have to revolve your gameplay around the opponent. He also have super hype move that is Shine Footstool. That is one of those things that you really want to land, you know, at least once playing this character. It's so cool. Okay, we all know melee Fox, you know, frame 1 shine, combo everybody for days, play like a machine. So you can still do it in Smash Ultimate. It's just, you know, it actually looks way cooler in Smash Ultimate because shine, the downbeat, the reflector, isn't as strong as it is in melee. So when you actually made it work, it's pretty cool. Underdog, well, I think he's high tier, mid tier, so not so much. He's not too much of a unique character, and he does have a super terrible recovery. Anybody with a counter can destroy him. Anybody with a lingering hitbox on a projectile can also make Fox recovery very tragic. Okay, so Fox, pretty fun. I could see playing him for a couple of hours until I managed to land the Shine Footstool stuff. Next, Mr. Game & Watch. This is the character you pick when you had you have played the game for 6 hours straight. Hey Azia, what's up? No, Lana is fine. This guy always come and grief me. He comes into everybody's stream to grief them. But I love it. What's up, my brother? Thanks for joining the stream.
My brother from another mother.
That's what your colleague always say.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Okay, back to Mr. Game & Watch. This character is what you play when you play Smash for 6 hours straight. You are super tired, your mind has completely shut down, and you just need a character where you press buttons and cool things happen. Okay? Engagement 0 because you get hit, you are B. You feel like you want to stop thinking, just side V, score a 9 and you win, or you score a 1 and you cry, you know. But I must say, 9 is pretty hype, so I must give him some point for it. Okay, he has a very good disadvantage state, very hard to deal with this character when he's losing. So, you know, when... Really? Yeah, you should actually try Game & Watch. Yeah, just turn off your brain, up B, and press neutral air and you win. You know? So, Game & Watch, I'm gonna say he's cool for 5 minutes actually, you know? Like, if last few games with your friends, pull out Game & Watch, have some fun. In order to win with this character, you kind of, you know, just revolve around the same thing. Next up, we have our resident worst character in the game, Ganondorf. Doria! Doria, Mr. Doria has all the hype moves. You have, yeah, it's very fun to play. His forward smash, his neutral B, his up tilt, you know, his side B, like infinite side Bs. You side B somebody into side B, tech chase into side B another time. You also have your down B spike. You have your down air spike. This character has all the hype moves. Okay? It's kind of reason why every time I play a session with my friends, we'll end the session with just Ganondorf free for all. You know, everybody plays 4 characters, 4 players, free for all Ganondorfs. It's the dumbest thing ever. Okay, Underdog for sure. Everybody call him the worst character in the game for a reason. He's not very unique, but yeah, I kind of like, you know, I'm teetering on the edge of giving him a unique for having all of the hype moves. He actually is unique because he has some, like all of the worst moves in the game. Okay, engagement I'm gonna say actually engaging, because when you're playing Ganondorf, you cannot just try run in, grab, and neutral air. You will lose. You have to get into the opponent's mind, you know, force them to play very unconventionally. Surprise them with a Yomi read forward smash here and there, you know. Try to go for Ganon sights when you're up a stock, all this kind of stuff. Like, you have to think about all this kind of stuff in order to actually have a chance of beating your opponent. So I'm gonna give him engagement. But okay, I'm not gonna lie to myself, his recovery is pretty bad. Other than his up B having super magnet hands, you touch him once off stage and he dies. So Ganondorf, I'm sorry, you are fun for 5 minutes, but that's really it. Even though you have so much thing going for you, you can't possibly, you know, if you play this character competitively to win, you are kind of not loving yourself that much. You gotta take care of yourself. You gotta treat yourself with a little bit of, you know, love. Playing him exclusively for competitive scene is really, you know, you are up for some punishment. I really wish there is like one final patch for Smash that gets rid of all the nonsense, fix the bugs, and also, you know, just introduce rollback. Like, not even like good rollback, just a little bit, like just a little bit for us online people to not, you know, to not tell yourself, oh fine, I cannot play this character online, I have to switch to Samus. Next, Incineroar. This character, low tier, everybody thinks he sucks, very slow, but look what SkyJ has done. He was on fire during the last tournament he entered. I would say Incineroar extremely fun. First of all, he's definitely an underdog. He's very easy to counter. So as long as the opponent is playing in tip-top form, it's really hard for Incineroar to get in and score anything. Being so slow. If the opponent decides to not force interactions, you know, and try to bait out Incineroar's revenge, it's really quite hard for Incineroar to play. So he's truly a low tier character. So he gets the underdog approval. There is a reason why everybody cheered so loud when SkyJ was winning. He got into top 8 and then he got into grand finals. Because of underdog power. Next up, engagement. You know what this character is all about. This character is all about getting into the opponent's head, forcing them to block, countering them with revenge, and once revenge is up, you know, either they desperately try to grab you, or they run away and get their shield broken by forward smash or something. You know, this character is very, very engaging to play. His recovery, his disadvantage stage is actually pretty good. Most people think his recovery sucks, but because he has this thing called revenge, juggling him is usually not always a good idea. His neutral air is also have a quite respectable hitbox, good hurt boxes, good frame data. So Incineroar, in terms of trying to recover, actually is pretty good. Most of the times when I play Incineroar, I typically don't have a hard time getting back on stage, unless I'm doing something like super obvious and, you know, super predictable, like trying to recover high up B onto stage and then entering the up B tumble animation, those kind of things. As long as you don't do any of those often, you should be fine. Hype move, Alolan Whip is ultra hype. Alolan Whip, after you have revenged like a down smash, ultra hype. So unique character because should Incineroar have a unique character? Because he is one of those characters where you can stack one single move like near infinitely and just do 200% damage with one move. It is possible, and no other character in this game can do it by themselves. So Incineroar, I say, goes to solo main tier of fun. I can see myself playing Incineroar all day and never get bored of him. Next up, Greninja. Greninja is the character I love to play the most during offline. Let me take a sip of water. Okay, Greninja, I love playing Greninja offline. Online, he's so terrible to play. But recently I've been playing Sephiroth more, so I haven't touched my Greninja for a while. Hold up. Where's my music? Okay. My music decided to stop by itself. Okay, we are back. Okay. Greninja. Okay. Very unique character. The reason why he has a counter, he has Windbox, he has a lot of stuff. He has a lot of ways to deal with opponent stuff. So on top of that, he's super engaging. He can use his counter to reverse camp projectiles at about mid range. His Hydro Pump up B can do some very funny stuff against people with like straight up recoveries. Against Joker with Arsene up, you can punish super hard with Hydro Pump when he tries to recover with Arsene. So I really like characters where they have all these mechanics that the game offers. So Greninja gets engaging. Hype move. I'm not sure if hype move counts for, like, you know, his down taunt or his taunt that does a little bit of flower and a hitbox. That's pretty hype. It's pretty funny, but kind of, you know, kind of not really. You don't actually go for it. So I'm not gonna give him the hype move, even though I really want to. He has a pretty poor recovery. He's quite exploitable. So on disadvantage, it's actually pretty poor. Plus, he doesn't have any out of shield options. So if he's getting pressured, he kind of is always forced to run. So there is about 10%, 15% of each match that a Greninja player has to just, you know, not play the game and just run away, which nobody wants to do that. No, it's not fun to do it. It is optimal, but it is not fun. Okay, so Greninja, I would say, very fun. Next up, Ice Climbers. Ice Climbers, there's very few Ice Climber player because this character is really, I would say, single player character, the game. Sometimes you dodge some projectiles, you try to set up your stuff, but at the end of the day, once you get in, you really don't care what the other opponent is doing. You just want to set up your desync and get your crazy combo, get your Twitter clips going. So he does have some hype move. I would say hype move is desync. Okay, getting the desync out is really pretty impressive. I'm not gonna lie. But on the engaging front, Ice Climber players, don't hate me on this. The character is not very engaging to play. Even when I'm playing it well, I feel like, you know, I could be fighting any other character, I could be fighting any other player, I will be doing the exact same thing. Plus, your disadvantage state is actually pretty bad. Against some matchups, Ice Climber just straight up get destroyed. Anytime opponent has like a good lingering projectile that also, you know, like if you were to ask Ice Climber to fight maybe like Snake, like Sonic, like Min, they are not going to have a fun time. Like, you literally struggle to get your neutral going. So despite how technical this character, Ice Climber is very dull to play. Not gonna lie. Ike. Ike is our big sword, basic sword boy. When in the first 2 years of Smash Ultimate, Ike was like infesting online play because he's just so easy to play. He's so effective. He is near the character, so he gets no engagement on that point because you really just fish for Nair and confirm into the stuff. Okay, he has no hype move because his moves are super basic looking. Okay, he's not unique. He's definitely not unique. Big sword guy swing sword around. He has a terrible recovery, and actually he's a pretty good character. Right now, Ike is pretty bad because, you know, he's so exploitable, combo food. Everybody knows what he does already, so, you know, he's quite weak. But, you know, when he works, he works. So I can't even give him the underdog badge. So Ike, it's boring to play, very boring. Next up, Inkling. Inkling also suffered from the Ike syndrome where he was like infesting early Smash, but now when everybody figure out how to play Inkling, not much anymore. Okay, the thing is, Inkling is actually quite unique because she can set up. She can change the terrain by doing roller, doing stuff that makes a certain part of the stage slow, and you can like force Incineroar to run over that patch of land on Final Destination, and you just watch him cannot move, and then from you from the other side of the stage throw bombs, you know, spray your goo all over him. It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. There's a charm to a character in a platform fighter where you can actually manipulate the platforms. Okay, so he's a pretty unique character. Engagement, actually, I don't know. Inkling players usually fish for the same thing: down throw, reverse nair into your combos, and then once you have the correct percentage, try doing your up throw, up air and stuff. Inkling, pretty straightforward characters, pretty flowcharty. I don't think it's that hype. I don't think it's that engaging to play. Has a pretty hard recovery to punish, but at the same time, it's a fast faller and it's quite easy to combo Inkling. His disadvantage state is during juggling, during pressure is actually pretty lousy. So, Inkling, I would say, cool for 5 minutes. Next up is Corrin. Corrin is the character that everybody forgot that is in the game. Who remembers that this character existed? Nobody knows this character existed in Smash after so long. Everybody, oh yeah, like you're playing random and you realize that Corrin, who is this person? I've never seen this guy before. Because even though he has like some unique design on his moves with like transforming into dragons and stuff, the functions of the moves are really quite straightforward. So he doesn't really get too much unique thing. He's a sword character, he's a Fire Emblem character with a down B that counters people. Bor Ixhlaf. Okay. He's actually quite bad right now, so I will give him the underdog tag. His recovery is actually pretty good. It's quite hard to challenge him. And hype move, I'm not sure I can give hype move to, like, you know, the charged forward smash into Tipper, you know, after reading an air dodge and stuff. So Corrin, is Corrin? I'm forgetting his name. I'm sorry, Dao. And don't worry, I'm not gonna put all of the Fire Emblem people here. I know everybody hates Fire Emblem sword people. Some of them, like these three, are really boring to play. I'm sorry, but not all of them are like this. Don't worry, I'll get to the other ones. Next up is Ken. I'm going to put Violent Ken because SPC2 is very fun to play. So I love me some Violent Ken. Okay, Ken, very hype because of his crazy combos. Tatsu loops during high percentage, mid percentage and high high rage. If the Ken player has like 130% rage, and the opponent is in mid percent, you can do Tatsu loops into tech chase, light F tilt into inputted Shoryu for super juicy Twitter clips. Shield breaks setups, you know, kind of a good recovery actually, because even though you can clip them off of the up B because they don't snap to ledge, they are actually quite hard to guard in recovery due to Hatoken stall, focus attack drifts, you know, and up B has quite a good challenging, good hitbox to challenge people trying to, you know, two frame them. So Ken, I would say I can play Ken all day. Ken I can play all day until my fingers get tired, or until I face a Bowser player, and then I have to switch out, because Ken has matchup issues. He's really fun to against like most of the people, but once you come to like characters where your combos just doesn't work, like if you fight Jigglypuff with Ken, you just can't combo really Jigglypuff. And then if you fight Bowser, you can't do your jabs, you can't do your F tilts, you know, your Hatoken doesn't do anything on them. All of a sudden, what makes your character work just suddenly doesn't work anymore, and you can't play the game your way anymore. So Ken suffers from matchup issues. If Ken has ways to deal with his poor matchup and make his combos more reliable, he would go up to solo main. He's almost there, almost there. Next up we have Kirby. Kirby is a very unique situation where it's so fun to play online when you are queuing up against different people. You can steal their neutral B and play a completely different character each time. However, if you're playing offline with friends in a setting where they just play the same two characters all day, he gets a little bit stale and repetitive. Okay, he has difficulty getting in. You would think characters that have difficulty getting in will score quite high on the engaging factor, but the way that Kirby gets in is quite straightforward. You run in and block, maybe you run in forward air, you run in dash attack, you run in grab, you run in down tilt. It's same thing. Just don't jump. Once the opponent starts platform camping Kirby, you know, you have to resort to using neutral air to grab them down, and then it resets neutral, and you know, it's a lot of busy work. So if your opponent doesn't want to play your opponent wants to play in a very degenerate way, a scumbag way, you kind of have to, you know, deal with that, which is a little bit of a bummer. It's quite a terrible recovery. But I would say Kirby is quite hype. Kirby is quite hype. How would I describe Kirby's hypeness? Will be his neutral B can make some crazy stuff, like combos that usually won't work. You can actually lap Kirby so much until you can make some super sweaty combos out of Kirby's neutral B, like you know, getting Mii Brawler's rapid punch neutral B. That just one on the top of my head, like Samus charge shot, doing a charge shot combos into stuff. All this kind of really cool stuff only Kirby can do. And if you can land some of these super obscure combos with Kirby, it's quite cool. So Kirby, for online, you can play Kirby online all day, but in a typical setting, he's pretty fun. Not completely fun, but pretty fun. I can play Kirby all day. Next up is Bowser. Bowser, he gets this tech for sure. Bowser is a very fundamentals based character. For a beginner learning Smash, Bowser is very heavy, so he's quite forgiving. You won't die so often. He has quite a good recovery in the sense that you can get back from most places as long as you know what you're doing. He has moves that, you know, eats up fast moves like jabs, like small move. The tough guy passive is very good for new players when they are going up against characters who use their frame data against him. He can, you know, just tank through some of it, and you can start doing the slow moves where all the beginners love to do. All the beginner Smash players just want to spam the biggest move. So Bowser kind of lets you do it and lets you use big moves to lose to small moves. Most other characters in the game cannot do that. Like, if it's always better to use higher frame data and confirm into stuff rather than just swing out smash attacks, swing out, you know, moves that are super slow. He also have an aerial command grab, which makes it very difficult for an opponent to just shield against him. So Bowser, actually pretty fun. Next up, Bowser Jr. Bouncy hype. Yeah, there's one more bouncy character coming up that is actually also very fun to play. Bowser Jr. You almost never see this character being played online or anywhere, in fact, because come on, it's not iconic. It's like a side character of a side character. He doesn't even get like the meme quality of Piranha Plant. Yeah, so he's like a sideshow, and sideshow character, even though he has quite a good recovery, sideshow character is cool for 5 minutes. Okay, he's still more fun than all of these characters. Next up, King K. Rool, the pink one. I should have I choose the piss colored King K. Rool. That is the best skin, but I picked pink one because pink is cute. King K. Rool is pretty cute. Okay, King K. Rool, pretty hype. He has his, you know, the cannonball bounce into on the ledge and then combos into back air. That's pretty hype. It's quite an underdog because, you know, fat zoners, they don't really do that well in tournament settings or competitive settings. As long as your combo game is on point, you can just destroy King K. Rool players quite easily. You know, so engagement, he kind of a little bit, he has a good counter, so sometimes you kind of have to counter the opponent in order to get ahead. He has this armor mechanic where you can, similarly to Bowser, force your way through fast moves with your slower moves. His armor mechanic also makes him quite unique. So you always want to be, you know, facing the opponent, asserting your dominance, you know, stare down. Look at his eyes popping, the veins popping out. You want to stare down your opponent with King K. Rool. And his recovery actually pretty good. Like, not many characters can challenge it vertically. And sideways, you know, he can just delay, or he can just mix up his horizontal position before he starts doing RB, and you are good. So unless character with very good horizontal aerial moves like Bayonetta or Peach, you know, or like what do you call it, Sephiroth with a big sword to cover the sideways, he's actually quite hard to recover. So you look at this King K. Rool here. You can play King K. Rool exclusively and have tons of fun. It's a very well designed a heavy character in Smash. So one of the most cool newcomers in Smash Ultimate. Next up is Lonk. We have Lonk. I played Link for quite a while, but you know, this bombs, the new remote bombs is so fun to play. But the thing is, he suffered from the fatal flaw of his boring moves being better than his hype moves. So we are on a tier list where we are trying to win. This is a tier list that is for fun, but also while you are trying to win. So what happens when I play Link is that all of the cool setups with bombs, the traps, the bomb recoveries, the infinites, and the all the item stuff, it's so fun to do, but you always just end up doing Nair, down tilt, back air, up B. You always just end up doing that. You always just default into Z drop bomb into Nair, confirm into forward smash, F tilt in the late trap scenarios. You always default into that because that is way more effective and way less mentally taxing and execution, light on execution, than trying to do all the fancy bomb stuff, all the fancy regrab, recatch, to do footstool infinites with Link. So, despite him having so much stuff, playing Link optimally is actually kind of boring. So I'm gonna put him actually cool for 5 minutes. Like, you'll whip him up, try to actually do the bomb stuff, you land it, and that's it. You stop playing Link. Next up, Wireframe Mech. This is the best skin. Fight me on this. Mech, he's unique because he has this KO punch mechanic. Nobody has a move that can just straight up kill at 20%. His recovery, his disadvantage is terrible. Not gonna lie, it's pretty bad. You have to make so much reads correctly in order to recover. He can actually cover quite a good distance with his recovery, but anytime you get even touched once, you just sneezed on, you will lose your stock. Engagement, he has to really play the opponent's game, where if the opponent decides to camp him or use the platforms and jump around, you know, he has to navigate it by doing anti-airs. Most characters in the game, their anti-airs is like, in order to anti-air, you just jump and fight them in the air. That is the best anti-air, is to be in the air yourself. But Mech, you can't do that. Hype move, definitely. KO punch is always hype. Even down angled, the lever blow to break shields, also very hype. Definitely underdog because he's actually a pretty terrible character. In order to win with Little Mac, you really have to put in the sweat. So Little Mac, the thing is, he has matchup problems. So very similarly to Ken, you can play with Little Mac all day, but at some point, unless you are like those like alternate peanuts where you are like so good at Little Mac that you can just play them, you know, solo main. I would say you play Little Mac all day, and when you get matched up against like a zoner, a very good zoner, or a very good sword characters with good frame datas, like you fight Rob, or you fight Mega Man, you cannot just have to switch to another character in order to win. Because half of the time you're just trying to get out of this disadvantage stage, getting juggled, and you know, not being able to recover the moment you get thrown off stage. So Little Mac, A tier. Next up, Lucario. Lucario, the best worst character. Lucario is so terrible. The first, when 3, 2, 1 go, you're not playing the game. You have to go run up, do a few 10% damage combos until you get hit into 70%, 80% before you can actually start playing the character. And at that point, Ganondorf is going to forward smash you and you die. One thing that I don't understand is that they want this character to have this aura mechanic where you win by losing, but then you can't even get max aura if the stock is even. So you have to lose so much in order to have a functional character. But with that said, underdog, very fun to play. Okay, has quite a big huge hype move of charge aura into back air charge aura into up smash. That is so hard to do. Like charge aura into B reverse, charge aura into aura sphere. All of these things, when it lands, it's very, very cool. So he does have some hype moments. And also, by default, he's a character where you win by losing. So you get the underdog status and the underdog scenario during gameplay. So you get two underdogs. Okay, engagement. Not too engaging. I'm going to take this down because how do you play Lucario? You nair, nair hits, down tilt hits, grab hits, back throw hits, dash attack. And you rinse and repeat until you can get into kill percent. That is how you play Lucario. Okay, you kind of don't do anything else. Your opponent is throwing projectiles, you nair. The opponent is blocking, you nair. The opponent is recovering, you nair. You nair on stage even though he's nowhere near you. You just nair. Okay? So Lucario. Cool for 5 minutes. Next up, Lucas. Who plays Lucas? The Lucas players are... There's two kind of Lucas players. Very radical. Is either the side B, PK Fire, PK Freeze, spamming Lucas, or is the snake combo, the magnet combo, super sick Lucas player with all of the tags. You know that snake wave dash thing that the very good very good Lucas player does. That is pretty cool. It looks super dumb. It looks like the game is bugging out, and it kind of reminds you of Melee days. So, in terms of uniqueness, the thing is, Lucas is actually pretty standard character, projectile character. Universal is trying to buy Warner Brothers. How does this relate to Smash Ultimate tier lists? Hi though. Welcome to the stream, Delili. Okay, back to Lucas. Kind of pretty hype. I would say at high level play where nobody get hit by PK Freeze. PK Freeze is pretty hype. It's pretty funny when you see like top players get hit by that move. Okay, has a very terrible recovery. It's very obvious. So if the person have a good sense of how to edge guard it, it's quite easy to edge guard Lucas. However, you need to be on point because if you just scraped it by a couple frames, you will take quite a lot of damage, and the Lucas player is going to recover anyway. So, despite Lucas not having any of these things, Lucas is actually a pretty fun character to play because he has so much skill expressions beneath the basic move set that he has. So, Lucas players, rejoice. I think your character is pretty cool. Next up is Miss Vanilla. This is Lucina, the character where you groan at every time you see online. Because Lucina players are super try hard. Okay, you go online, you see a Lucina, and they're going to play everything like they are on 5 energy drinks. You know, they play like a madman because they want to show off their sick mechanics and sick fundamentals, and they want to outplay you with a vanilla boring character. So Lucina, he does not have hype move, he's not unique, but engaging. Fundamentals are very engaging. In order to play Lucina, you have to know the basics of edge guards, spacing, throw on shield, RB all of shields, and all of these fundamentals are actually pretty fun. So I would say Lucina, very fun. Okay, B tier. You can play Lucina for a while. and have lots of fun with her. Show off your insane fundamentals and crush some players who only thrive under gimmick. Next up is Waluigi. He's in the game. I gave him the Waluigi skin. Luigi suffers from matchup issues like some of the other characters. His hype moves will be his Zero to Death, which is actually pretty hype. I know we've seen it so many times already. Now everybody knows how to DI against it. You know, you just kind of, when you actually get hit by it, it's your fault. It's really like Ganon's forward smash thing. The only thing is that his grab is not punishable, so they'll just end up spamming it. But Luigi, being so slow and so predictable, most players, if they choose not to play his game, can just don't play his game. Okay, he has an invincible down B, which really makes him a little bit like Game & Watch status, where you switch off your brain and you just flow charge your way. It's kind of a bad character right now, so I'll give him the underdog tag. But you know, Luigi, you bust him out, try to do the Zero to Death. The Zero to Death didn't work, you switch him out. That's kind of how you play Luigi. Next up is Mario. Mario is very different from his brother. Mario has a functioning projectile. Mario has Wind Box. Mario has this super funny move called Cape, where you reverse the opponent and make them do funny stuff. So Mario has quite a lot of hype stuff. And not to mention that he has forward air. Forward air is pretty hype. Okay? Pretty hype. So everybody, every time, you know, up air, down throw, up air, falling up air, and you go into a forward air, everybody goes wild. Okay, and he also has ladder combos on platforms. One of the few characters that actually uses the stage to his advantage. Not many characters in the game does this, which is kind of disappointing for a game to be for a game to be labeled as a platform fighter and not using the platform. So Mario actually uses platforms. So Mario is pretty hype. Unique. Despite him being supposedly the banner boy for the most standard character, he's actually more unique than almost like half the cast, more than half the cast, because he has Reflector, he has a Wind Box, he has a good RB out of shield, he has a good recovery as well, Magnet Hands, not as much as before, but you know, still pretty good. The only thing is that he has a useless up tilt, which kind of makes him just falling short of the solo main tier, because you know, when in the case of having fun with the character, when you're trying to have fun with the character, you do want to weave in all of their moves so that you can showcase your masteries of the character. But you know, trying to use up tilt on Mario just nets you a L. So we are still trying to win here, so I'm going to duck him. I'm going to knock him off a point for his useless up tilts. Next up is Dr. Mario. This character is funny, man. You know, like, you play this character, he's like super underdog. He's like ultra not unique because he's just worse Mario. You know, he's terrible recovery. He has no hype moves. I don't know, that up B hype? No, not really. The up B from Luigi is way more hype. So he's stuck in this middle ground of not goofy like Luigi and not like versatile as Mario. So Dr. Mario, I'm sorry, you are boring to play. Okay, we are up here with our banner boy for Fire Emblem characters. Okay. The Tipper mechanic, very unique, very unique. I'm going to not sugarcoat this. Very good recovery, quite hard to challenge Dolphin Slash. Engage, very engaging. They are blocking, you try to break their shield, try to grab them. However, just a little bit problem is that at low percentage he has to go for like throw stuff, down tilts, and side B instead of his regular tipper stuff. Trying to go tipper during low percentage will just nets you a problem where you are minus on hit. You hit the opponent, but they can punish you, which is just a little bit annoying. So pretty underdog. Not much of a high move. High move will be like tipper side B. Tipper side B is pretty hype. So Marth, actually, I'll give him like shield breaker and tipper side B. It's pretty hype. So if you want to play and win, and you want a sword character, you can play Marth. You can solo main Marth. You are not going to be happy about it most of the time, but in the course of playing him, you will have quite a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun playing Marth because, you know, all of the above mentioned aspects. Next up is the character that has won the most tournaments, which is Byleth. Byleth has quite a cool, unique set of stuff for a Fire Emblem Sword character, because your down B is pretty hype. It's a terrible move, and it is not a counter, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay, he's not too unique actually. He's quite a standard sword character. He is given a projectile like Cloud. So Byleth, you can kind of think about it, is like better Cloud without limit, you know. And then it's a quite, I would say, underdog, because if you actually fight Byleths online, if you play against players that are not MK Leo, you can beat Byleth pretty easily because their character is pretty straightforward. Just outplay them. Just block the neutral air like a good boy. Do not press any buttons before the landing hitbox hits, and you are good. He has an insane recovery. You cannot challenge it. You either get spiked or it just doesn't work. They will tether to ledge and avoid all of the 2-frame. It doesn't 2-frame. So pretty good recovery, pretty good disadvantage state. The neutral air covers quite a lot of things when you land, and you can use neutral B to B reverse. So engagement, I would say he spaces you out and do his own neutral air stuff, so he's not too engaging. Byleth is quite a flowchart character. Once you win, you start to wall people all the way forward air, back air. So Byleth, I would say B tier. Next up is Meta Knight. Meta Knight is good for one thing: dash attack into up air and see if you can chain the up air into up B and you score a kill. That's pretty much it. Or like a very nice, you can do like a neutral B H guard, neutral air H guard sort of stuff. So he's kind of, you know, he has his things, but nope. Like, maybe the up air combos well. Is my music stopped again? Be right back. Okay. Let's resume. Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Back to Mewtwo now. Okay, next up is Mewtwo. Mewtwo, everybody knows the problem. You get hit by no reason. They swing the opposite direction, you get comboed. Okay? He does have quite a cool set of moves where he has a command grab that actually does not grab the person but sends them into a tumble state in front of them. It also acts as a projectile. He also have a stunning move which comes in disable. So in terms of uniqueness, Mewtwo is quite cool. His up B is also very useful because it has such low end lag. You can actually use it as a way to land, not just like a way to recover. You can actually use it on stage as a form of mix up or as a way to tech chase somebody after you knock them down, or do a after you throw them onto a platform and they didn't tech, you can up B over and try to catch the tech roll. It's quite a poor character right now, so I'm going to give him the underdog tag, because despite how good the kit is, he suffers from his problem of having extra hurt boxes, which no character should have. Hype move, I'm not sure too about hype move. I think footstool disable is pretty hype, so I'm going to give him it. And engagement, Mewtwo kind of does have to watch what the opponent is doing so that he can use his confusion, his very slow aerials quite well. His up air, his down air, his back air is all extremely slow, but really good combo extenders. So in order for you to play Mewtwo, you do have to consider all of these things. So I'm going to say Mewtwo, you can solo main him, but at some point you are going to get upset because you Marth tippered you tippered your tail from like across the stage. So you can play all day, A tier. Next up is our delicious pork cube. I always use the Minecraft pig costume for Mii Brawler because the cubes and the single color makes it very difficult for your opponent to see what you are actually doing. So that is the best skin. So DLC that gives you an advantage is in the game. Pay to win, go buy that. Go buy the pig DLC skin. What do we have here for Mii Brawler? I did play Mii Brawler quite extensively online for quite a while because I want to land that down throw helicopter kick that kills at like 20%. Because the launch angle of the helicopter kick is very strange. If you hold it forward, it's going to launch like 90 degrees straight to the right or the left. But if you hold it back, it's going to launch up. So that move is actually pretty cool. Plus, you know, Mii characters, you can design them as you like. Yeah. Is underdog, maybe because nobody actually play Mii Brawler. So even though he's actually pretty good, he's not too strong. He has some flaws of having very poor hitboxes. So engagement, I guess so. He does have a command grab that lets you get past people who plays very defensively. You have the flip kick that helps you to recover and gets through projectiles. So you can play a Mii Brawler in a quite engaging way. Hype move will be the down throw helicopter kick. That is pretty hype. Being able to kill somebody at 20% because of that fixed knockback being so great. But he has a recovery problem. His recovery is quite bad. Oh, hype move. The down B with the headbutt thing that can spike people at super low percent as well. That is also pretty hype. But given all this hype stuff, he's exclusively cool for 5 minutes. But Mii Brawler is so hard because it's a brawler character that is fun to play, but you actually end up you just want to play this character to clown on your friends. So I'm going to put him in very fun, B tier. Next up, Mii Gunner. Mii Gunner is the worst zoner in the game in terms of fun for me, because his kit is really just a more straightforward version of another person's kit. Neutral B is like, a more straightforward version of Falco or Samus. Down B is like a different version of, Samus or Sheik's side B. Like all this kind of stuff is is cool on paper, but when you play it, you just want to annoy people online. You turn on your toggle, you lag the crap out of the opponent, and you spam down B grenades, and no, you go here. Mii Garner. I do not like Mii Garner. I don't even feel good winning with Mii Garner because the opponent just lagged out and couldn't react to the frame traps. Mii Swordsman, on the other hand, super hype because you have that back air tech chase into short hop, slow chakram that comes back, and then you jab lock from that into down tilt into not down tilt, into forward smash. How do I describe this? Okay, so you back air somebody and they didn't tag the move. You jab lock them twice, do a short hop chakram to restamp them back up during the third hit of your tag chase, and then you either up smash or you down tilt back air them again. So or you can RB the spinning one. So he has some really cool setups, and also he has like the other set that is, I forgot his name, but he's playing this sword with Blade Dash and Shuriken of Light, which is like the move that nobody ever used, and he's making it work because it's underdog. Nobody knows this character. Okay, so but he in terms of engagement, he's kind of, you know, sword character, do sword character stuff with projectiles. So he's really cool, but it's like once you know the stuff, it's very fun to play for 5 minutes. Next we have our villager. Okay, Hakim villager here tells you that he has hype move in terms of tree. You chop the tree, you get the X. You can use the X to kill people at 50%. You can also use the tree that when you chop it, you get a log, and the log is how you spawn items in the game. Spawning items in the game is always fun. But the thing is, you know, villager does villager stuff. He doesn't care what the opponent is doing, so he gets a score knocked off for engagement. But the thing is, villager has the pocket ability that makes him very, very fun against other zoners, or especially zoners like Zelda with the armor. He can pocket the armor.
It's vomit. he vomit the armor out.
Yes, it's vomit.
Yeah, it's vomit. It's not pocket.
So we have a character that is extremely fun for players who just like to do their own stuff, throw projectiles, plant trees, have a good recovery. Balloons are really hard to recover. You can just go under the stage and you come back after that. Even if you hit the balloons, as long as you have a good rising momentum, you can always almost grab ledge every single time. Quite a unique character because having a very cool smash attack of dropping bowling balls, and the being able to also play some rushdown tactics with Lloyd running after the Lloyd rocket. So actually, villager, I'm going to put him in solo main tier, S tier. Villager, if you really play this character, wait, where's my underdog? Oh, it's here. Okay. Villager, if you really play this character to win, it is, I would say, one of the most fun zoners in the game. Because the thing is, against other zoners, you can completely destroy them with pocket. Against non-zoners, you just do your zoner stuff. And I'm not going to duck a point for people who say, oh, zoners are not fun. If you enjoy playing zoners, a villager is a fun zoner to play. Next up will be the bane of online play, which is Ness. You can already hear the PK fire coming out already. Ness has so much tech for a floaty character, has so much combo potential, and now that the patch buffed his neutral B is hype. Because neutral B is the move you use to two-frame people, to catch people getting scared of your 4 air and the mashing air dodge and stuff. You can even neutral B yourself for people trying to air dodge past you, and it kills at so low percent. So Ness, pretty hype. Pretty good engagement, because I know PK Fire spam is pretty boring, but you know, after the PK Fire spam, how the opponent SDIs the fire is going to determine how you're going to combo them. Against different weight class, your magnet combo is also going to change. So there's a lot of ways for Ness player to express their skills. So Ness players, I'm going to give him quite engaging. Okay, unique. Should I give Ness unique? PK Thunder as a recovery is actually pretty cool. It's not just a move that you use to recover. It has a projectile you use to edge guard, you use to poke. You also can be used a way to catch people air dodging onto stage, and you can use the follow up PK Thunder 2 to completely destroy them, which is the second hype move. So Ness, S tier. Play Ness if you like Ness. You can just play him all day long. Next up will be our Piranha Plant. Piranha Plant is one of those characters where nobody expected that Sakurai is going to make a character like this. Okay, but I would say Piranha Plant is more iconic than Bowser Jr. It's like, this is funny. Like it's like a regular enemy from a Mario character and is made into a fully playable character in a Smash game. It's unique in lore. Very lousy character, easily comboed, doesn't have any reliable way to set up his game plan. So he gets the underdog tag. Engagement, I would say not so much. He's at the mercy of the opponent not knowing the matchup. Hype move, I would say, is there any Piranha hype moves? At most you do like a shield break, or nah, there's not much I can think of. Patui is a good move, but you can see it coming. By the time it hits you, the hype has already died down. So not hype. Piranha Plant, I'm sorry. You're a boring character to play in order to win.
Oh.
Next up will be Pac-Man. Pac-Man is the resident sweat character. You have to train, you have to get all of the tech of Pac-Man down. How the grab works, how his aerial works, how to control the waters from the fire hydrant. You know, how to basically do all of the Pac-Man stuff. I would say he's very unique with his bonus fruit. Getting all of the stuff, how to use every single fruit is so different, so cool. Engagement, he actually is, I would say his engagement comes from the second layer of after you set up your stuff, your hydrant, you have to play how the opponent reacts to you having set up a hydrant, because hydrant is not just exclusively good for you. Your opponent can sometimes cheese it out by hitting the hydrant into you and scoring an early kill. So very fun to play Pac-Man, because you set up a hazard that could potentially harm yourself, which I find it pretty funny. An almost impossible way to edge guard Pac-Man, so he gets to always play his game. And the hype move, you have the bonus fruit, the bell, the key, the hydrant into bell, in the regrabs, the Galaga combos, those Galaga into side B off the top, those are hype, very hype. So Pac-Man, even though I would say his normals are pretty basic, like, you cannot just play Pac-Man with bonus fruit. you have to weave in all of his quite basic functioning normals. So I'm going to give Pac-Man A tier, but very high. Next up is Palutena. Palutena is top tier character, very good everything, very good. You have to play her very very good recovery, very good disadvantage state. Down B can get you a lot of things. You have neutral air that just sucks everybody in and combo everybody for free. But I am sorry, Palutena. I played you for 2 minutes and I already got bored because your moves are just good and that's it. I'm maybe cool for 5 minutes because no, not even 5 minutes, because like the wind box on the forward smash is pretty fun, but then you would much rather just hit the opponent with the forward smash anyway. You almost never want to use it to just like, you know, push the opponent off a little bit, unless you're fighting like Ike or Chrom, you know, those characters that dies from not being able to grab Lich. So Palutena, despite being a very good character competitively, it's a very boring character to play. Pichu. Pichu is, if you want to punish yourself by having to play a super technical character with low with a lightweight that dies at like, you know, 70%, this character is for you. Okay, Pichu is, despite being so technical, you kind of flowchart into your stuff. You want to land your Nair combos, you want to land your F-tilt combos, so he goes into the flowchart. He also he does have an underdog tag right now because he got nerfed so badly until like there's no reason to play Pichu. If you want to play like the electric rat, just play Pikachu. So Pichu, say 5 minutes. Play him to see if Pichu you can do some Pichu stuff, and if you can't, you play Pikachu. So Pikachu, this is the character where if you like to play Pichu, you should play. You just play Pikachu. Very good recovery, very good engagement. No hype move, so he's basically just technical character. The character, Pikachu uses a lot of the advanced techniques of Smash. So what I mean by advanced techniques of Smash will be like B reverse for T jolt, jab locks, tag chase, re-grabs, like drag down re-grabs. All these kind of things is what Pikachu does. He also have this the drag down into Thunder Spike. So that is the kind of stuff I'm talking about for when I'm saying advanced techniques. Instead, for Pikachu, like for Bowser, it's all about fundamentals. For Lucina, it's all about fundamentals. For Cloud, it's all about fundamentals. But it comes to Pikachu, it's all about advanced techniques. And advanced techniques is what most people go for when they really want to get sweaty with a character. So, Pikachu, you get S tier. You can play Pikachu all day and have fun with him. Next up is Steve. This character has been haunting everybody now that even new broken tag has been found. As some already banned the character because it fundamentally breaks how Smash is supposed to function. You are not supposed to be in the winning situation when you get hit. Like, not, at least not immediately. Like characters like Lucario, you get hit, you get a bonus. There's a combat mechanic, everybody hates it. Like a Joker, you get Arsene. Kazuya, you get Rage Drive. Rage Art, sorry. So like those stuff are okay on a to a certain degree. People are okay with like combat mechanics nowadays. it's DLC stuff. But now with the PMLG, Steve gets to win immediately when he loses, which is is too ridiculous. So I'm going to duck him a point for that. He is, of course, an extremely unique character. Nobody else can morph the battlefield like Steve does. He has pretty much all of the hype moves possible by all of the setups, like cart parkour, the skateboard tricks you can do with the carts. You can like build a block, put a TNT over it, and then down B over it to set up some goofy shield break stuff. You know, Steve is there's so much thing you can do with Steve. His up B also can be used as a combo tool when you slide against the ground into up smash, which is and he kills. It's so funny. But then Steve does his own stuff. He builds blocks, he mine blocks, and he wait for the opponent to come. And I think there should have been a better way to go around designing how that works, because ultimately Steve wants to mine for diamond, and the crafting table is too easy to use. If the crafting table was not you cannot summon back the crafting table by yourself, and you have to wait a timer, I would think Steve will be actually a way more fun character to play, because you kind of have to also at the same time protect your crafting table. You know, that's the whole point. Like if you play Minecraft, you have to protect your assets not to get blown up by creepers. But in Smash, not so much. You just have to mine until you get diamond. You can always craft the stuff out of like a forward throw. You grab the person, you forward throw, you go and craft your diamond sword, and you are good to go. So I'm sorry, Steve. Despite how much potential you have, there is flaws and bugs and you being too strong that makes you a little bit less fun to play when you're playing competitively. Next up, Olimar. I'm sorry, Olimar. Your animations does not feel good. Your forward smash is very strong, but the sound effect is just poke. Your up smash is just slap. You throw a Pikmin and the Pikmin just hits people like a regular item. You know, and when you armor something with whistle, it doesn't even show you like a cool armor, like a ting sound, you know, like when King K. Rool uses his belly and block something. So despite how overly designed this character is, it don't feel good to play. So even he's unique and you know, he's kind of, even he's very unique. Ah man, Olimar, not fun. Like even if you do the cool stuff, it doesn't feel cool. Next up is Pit. Pit is the fundamental character, but I'm going to say his neutral B arrows are very, very fun to play. So even though he doesn't get any of this, he does get the underdog for being actually pretty weak character. Are we in Guilty Gear zone now? Or are we in Guilty Gear zone now? The music has went to Guilty Gear. Okay, so the only thing Pit has going for it is kind of like a weak character. Okay, let's go back to Under Night In-Birth for a while. Okay, we're back at Pit. Pit, being a underdog character, is Zachary is playing Pit now and everybody is hyping the character up, but if you actually play this character, you will find that he's way too honest, and you are kind of just playing like a Cloud, but without the crazy moves. But I would say the neutral air arrow is one of the most fun moves out there. Think Nikita missile, but much more quick. Like you get instant gratification of sniping somebody, and instead of trying Nikita 10 times and hitting once, So I will say Pit is B tier. Pretty good, pretty good. Now it comes to Dark Pit. Dark Pit, I'm going to say, is exactly like Pit, but you don't get the fun neutral B arrows. So no reason to play Dark Pit. Go to D tier. He doesn't even get a nice side V. Pit's side V is cooler. Next up, Pokemon Trainer. Pokemon Trainer is our super unique character where you don't want to just play one character, you want to play 3 characters. Okay, it has a very cool recovery, which you can mix up infinitely with changing characters. Hype moves. Do we have hype moves? Can we classify Squirtle's Tech Chase into like Smash Attack's hype moves? Maybe we can classify Flare Blitz. So Flare Blitz, we are hype. Nobody ever used that move, but boy is it fun when it lands. And having you to switch from 3 characters to fit the situation of the battle, very, very high engagement. So Pokemon Trainer goes into S tier for being one of the most fun characters to play in this game. Next up is our next squishy bouncy hype, which is our Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff is pretty lousy in this game, so he do get the underdog boost. Okay, he has like the best air game in the game. Supposedly, right now I would say there's a couple of characters with very good air game that actually functions better than Jigglypuff, namely like Sora and Yoshi. But Jigglypuff has good air dominance. He has quite unique moves in terms of 5 jumps, very good air dodge, can put people to sleep. The only other character that can put people to sleep is like Hero. I think that's correct, right? Who else can put character to sleep? It's just Hero. So yeah, that's quite unique. So using all these kind of fun, unique mechanics that's in the Smash game, within items on, which is quite cool for me. Hype move, of course. Who can forget the hype move known as Rest? Everybody loves Rest. And then immaculate recovery of having 5 jumps and one of the best air dodge in the game. And engagement, where you really have to space yourself out and weave in and out in the air and try to find an opening before landing your F4 air, jab locks into Sing. Those kind of stuff requires the Jigglypuff player to really pay attention to what is going on. However, fundamental issue is you have to deal with poor matchups. So if you are playing a matchup where the opponent has disjointed projectiles that lingers in front of them, it's really, really hard for Jigglypuff to get going. For example, say for example you are playing against the Zero Suit Samus, and the Zero Suit Samus just goes ahead and zare you all day. What is Jigglypuff gonna do? You kind of actually cannot do anything. Yeah, it is kind of why, when H-Box was playing against Mars when Zero Suit Samus and H-Box just whatever. Change to Steve, score a up smash and pops off, So I would say Jigglypuff being so bad against some matchups, he goes to B tier. Next up we have Robin. Robin, kind of slept on by so many people. Robin has a unique system where you have to manage resources. After the resources is done, you actually get a buff for using it all because you can get a recatch of the item. Having an item in Smash, like I always said, is always super fun. very engaging character because your side B as a ledge trap combos into another side B and combos into Levin Sword up air. Charging your lightning book into the correct level is also very important as this character, because against some character with very fast rush downs, you have to keep the lightning uncharged. You cannot afford to throw a slow projectile that Sheik player can just jump over and punish you immediately. And against slow characters or characters that requires a lot of setup, charging into Thoron and threaten that huge full stage lightning beam is very, very important. So Robin players, Galaxy Brain, I love them, have quite a decent recovery and disadvantage state, because aerials with Levin Sword is nobody dares to challenge them. You try to juggle Robin, he does a down air, he deals like 25 damage, and you know you lose. You are in a losing situation if you try to juggle a good Robin player without thinking about anything. Thoron is pretty hype. Nosferatu also pretty hype because it's so goofy. Like, you can do Nosferatu on people holding shield on platforms, and you know, you fondle them up and down and then you steal their HP. It's super funny. And of course, being a very slow character that is not doing too well right now, Underdog. So Robin, I actually say solo main, S tier. Robin is so fun to play. You know, do some sick Robin side B footstool into Z drop book combos, please. I need to see some of those. Next up is our Belmonts. We're gonna just put Richter here because really Simon and Richter is really exactly the same character. Simon is technically better because there is like you can use the fire water, the holy water, the fire type one to blow up Link's bombs, which makes it harder for Link to camp you back. So yeah, but Richter has voice clips. He actually says something. Say, "You don't belong in this world. You know, take this." I love those sound clips. It's so awesome when you hear them. Richter, very poor character right now. So Underdog. The moment you touch Richter, they die. And it's actually very easy to get in on the Belmonts because they are good zoning moves. Like Fair Bear are only active for like 1 frame. It's so hard to land them consistently. Hype moves, of course. Falling up air into what do you call it? Holy water. You throw the cross out, wait for the cross to return, land the holy water if the person did not block the full thing, jump in, do a landing up air, cross comes back, hits him, combos it, and then you go double jump into an up B. Huge cool projectile combos. One of the only character in the game that has combos that combos all of projectiles. So Richter, very hype. Engagement, you have to make sure you land your forward air, like mechanically you have to be up there. But disadvantage state, terrible. So Richter, I would say you can play Richter all day. Look at T3 Dom. T3 Dom. Dominic is playing such a insanely good Richter right now. Okay, next up is one of the most disappointing newcomers of this game, I would say. Like, there is so many moves that Ridley should have had. He's down B or down air. Why don't he just give him like a pogo stick on his tail? You know, like a way for Ridley to infinitely pressure people's shield when they're above them, like a super disjointed down air that pogos up and down against players so that they can't even up smash or they can't even up B out of shield. That would be such a cool design, because actually no character in Smash has a move like this. If actually Ridley had a design like that with his pogo stick tail, I would play this character. But instead he just gets a lame stomp, store and fall down air. What? D tier. I'm not even going to bother talking about his attributes. poor design, not fun to play. Rob. We have played against so many Rob. We kind of know all about Rob now. Rob has been pushed so far into the meta that, you know, gyro Z-drop stuff has become like a common thing people do. So he has a good disadvantage state with his up B, and that's about it. Like engagement, what Rob will do, what does Rob does that is like charge his gyro, spam nair, and then if the person blocks the nair, do down tilt, and if the person blocks the down tilt, they grab. And if they don't block any of them, you just go into the standards gyro combos. You don't even need to do the sweaty combos. You just do like the basic throw gyro recatch with forward air and then throw again, and then, you know, down tilt or something. This is for damage, and that is already good enough. So besides doing some of those cool combos with Rob, I would say Rob is just B tier, because he doesn't have the really cool looking stuff besides his items. I would say Rob can go into A. Let's put like A. Items. I love items, so I give him A, because sometimes when the Rob players throw the gyro down, I get it. I can do some sick stuff also. So I'm going to give Rob a boost in the tier list, because he allows other characters to start having some fun with items as well. Mega Man, super unique character, based off projectiles, and his jab is one of the coolest jab, where it's super oppressive against some characters. But then again, who else has like a projectile for a regular attack like a jab? He has one. It's pretty cool. He can also move around, or he can move forward when he's doing his lemon shots. Very good recovery. It's really quite hard to punish Mega Man's recovery, because he retains his double jump after. He can act out of his RB after rush spring. And should we count Z-drop, footstool Z-drop, the metal blade into up tilt, the Shoryuken as a hype move? I think I'll go with it. I'll say that's hype. So Mega Man players, rejoice. I think your character, when played hype, is very fun. But you know, not everybody plays that way. Typical online Mega Man is just spam projectiles until the opponent gets bored of the game. So if you actually play Mega Man hype way, I would say he can be very fun to play. Not to mention, Mega Man has also cool shield break potentials, where you can shield break and you do some insane setup where you can spike the person with Crash Bomb. So really, Mega Man is quite hype. Next up is Rosalina Luma, the other character that has not been played by anybody. Only our DAO character exclusive player, the Buzz, will play it. But I would say Rosalina Luma has quite something cool going on for it. It has quite a unique kit of having to control two characters at once. Okay. Actually, I would say low tier, because such a light character, bad recovery, and, you know, a huge hitbox. It's almost as tall as Bayonetta. I think even taller than Bayonetta. It's so easy to hit Rosalina Luma. It's so easy to hit Rosalina. So, Rosa, cool for 5 minutes. Next up is another Fire Emblem dude. Okay.
See everybody cool for 5 minutes. Has anybody ever been cool for 10 minutes?
10 minutes, I would guess. Maybe Ganondorf. Ganondorf, we do play them for quite a while, so Ganondorf gets boosted up to cool for 10 minutes.
Okay.
Oh wait, we're talking about Roy right now. Roy, our boy Roy. Everybody knows Roy. Roy has very hype move known as Jack Back Air. Just kidding. Roy is quite basic. You don't really do much other than try to fish for jabs, try to fish for F tilts, and they're all over the place. But that game plan is what people sign up for when they pick this character. So despite Roy not having any of these qualities, he is actually very fun to play. He's also being boosted up by one thing. The voice actor in the English version is so you know, so youthful. I bump him up to A tier just because of that. Bless you, Gwen. Next up, Ryu. Okay, Ryu is basically what people think about when they think about a Shoto character in Smash. They will always think that Ken is better because he can do all those combos. But the thing is, Smash Ultimate has been dominated by spacing and zoning all this time. All of the top tiers have some way to zone out the person and space out the people. So actually Ryu performs much better than Ken in terms of the tier list. Despite that, he has a problem under a lot of matchups, namely Bowser, namely people who can get around destroying his projectiles. Some characters who have moves that clanks with projectiles very well can straight up just destroy his Shakunetsu Hadouken, which is a little bit problematic. Also, there are characters with projectiles that straight up eats through the Hadouken, the regular ones. I can't think of someone out of the top of my head. Maybe there's some characters with projectiles like whose projectiles goes I think like a semi-charged Shadow Ball from Mewtwo eats through Shakunetsu Hadouken as well. I think that's it. And it makes it so that his very, very good projectile sometimes is terrible. So he does have that problem. But he has a unique kit of this being able to cancel from his normal moves into specials. Oh yes, what's up Realtron? Yeah, Link, like I said, he is so fun to play, but you know, to play him effectively and win, you just nair. You just nair and up B. You nair up B, you throw boomerang. And so he should be much more fun than this, but he's not. Ryu. Oh. Ryu having issues with matchup and having a unique kit. I'm going to say you can play Ryu all day, and I'm going to play right next Ken because they both have the same rough issues of very cool kit but mired by matchups. Thanks for joining Leonard. See you. Next up is our poster boy for zoning, Samus. Samus is actually none of this. Neutral B is not hype. He's actually a quite good character, so no underdog tag for them. He's actually you know what? Recovery is pretty good. Down B, up B is quite hard to deal with. So for a zoning character, Samus is one of the most effective, but also the most flowchart. What you do is you dance around with down B, you drop some bombs, and then you B reverse left and right with your neutral B. Once you charge about 90% charged, you don't full charge, 90% charged, and then you just wall people out with side B and Zair until they make a mistake. You shoot your charge shot, you dash attack into them, and then that's it. So Samus, effective character, too much of a flow chart, so I'm sorry, Samus goes down. That goes the same for Dark Samus. Was it Dark Samus? Is it Dark Samus, right? Okay. Next up is Sheik. Okay, Sheik. Sheik is a very unique case where typically everybody puts her on a very, very high tier, but it's an underdog because in order to perform with Sheik, it's quite crazy. You have to do so much stuff in order to stay consistent. So whenever somebody is playing Sheik, everybody is cheering for them because they want to see this hyper mechanic based character succeed. Very engaging. It's all about reading opponents, weaving in, reacting with your superior frame data, and confirming from small hits your fair into bouncing fish, your landing nair at the ledge into needles into bouncing fish, your parry footstool up smash, all these kind of parry footstool down air into up smash. Those are the stuff that makes Sheik cool to watch. But then when you actually try to play Sheik, bouncing fish is super hype. Okay, unique, I would say not unique, but she has very good frame data, a very good disadvantage state. The only thing that makes Sheik a problem to play is how inconsistent she is. In order for you to perform perfectly, you have to play like a robot, which is frankly almost impossible. So until we have that one super sweaty guy who plays Sheik to the best capability she can be, we are going to play Sheik at here, A tier. There is a cap on how fun you can play a technical character. When it goes past that cap, it becomes work and it becomes too tiring. So I would say a majority of players who try to play Sheik competitively are going to get to the point where fatigue sets in. Next up, Isabelle. Isabelle is so fun to play with the fishing pole, but most of her move doesn't work. But she has this super hype move known as Squeaky Hammer Infinite. You get someone in the tech chase scenario on a platform, and you jump up, wave land, and you run up into neutral. You jab them 3 times, 2 times. You move forward a little bit, and you jab them until they're like 150%, and then you forward smash them or you down smash them. That is actual hype. Unique character. She has she has the pocket. She has the fishing rod that makes it so that there is two, like, you can cover quite a lot of the battlefield well. But then even though she can cover the battlefield very well, Smash Ultimate legal stages are just way too big. So it's kind of hard for her to cover the whole stage effectively. And then when you pick small stages, it's actually not good for you because after all, you're a zoner, you do want a big stage. So she kind of falls into the place where she is good at trapping, but the area that she can trap people on is not big enough. So fast characters can just do not play her trapping game, and she kind of have to not use half of her kit. Her burying the Lloyd Rocket and her fishing rod, you cannot use those moves against fast characters. So matchup problems. She is underdog, of course. So I would say cool for 10 minutes, cool for 5 minutes. C tier. Next up, we have our boy not Sheik, Shulk. Shulk, very unique Monado arts. Use your smash art for your opponent to kill you faster. Use your what do you call it? What's the purple one? What's the purple one? Oh, I'm blanking on this. What's the purple one? Basically, you can sabotage your own game plan as Shulk, which I would say is pretty funny. Engagement, most Shulk players are going to say like, oh, you have all those tags, what do you call it, the milk, all the dial storage and stuff, all those stuff. You're gonna talk about all those stuff, but who's ever going to use all of them in the actual fight? Really, really hard. Because the thing about Shulk is that even though he has all these setups, right, you can't just throw them out in neutral. Your opponents are going to rush you down. They are going to make sure that you don't have the chance to set this all up. And when you set this all up, you still have to win neutral, which Shulk is actually kind of bad at. So imagine this. You use your Monado art, speed art, to make your neutral better. And then after you use speed art, you have to now do a setup that gets you DAO storage. And then by then, you have the DAO storage. You have wasted about like 30 frames to do that, around 30 frames, 20 to 30 frames to do the DAO storage setup safely. You know, your opponent's not going to stand there and just let you do it. Now you are going to do run up nair, run up nair, run up fair as a neutral tool, and it's going to send a person off stage. And what are you going to do now? Are you going to immediately go into Galaxy Brain mode and set up a DAO storage, down air into up B and whatever? No, you are just going to stay on stage and then wait for somebody to do a wrong get up option and you forward smash. And then now the down storage is not even used. And then one fine day you're going to get hit, you're going to use your shield art to get out of combo, and then that whole time you tried to do a DAO storage has not done anything. And that is the reoccurring situation of Shulk players. They do all this insane tech and then they never use it. So Shulk, DAO storage. Next up is our boy Snake. Snake is a very different situation. Snake has a very good recovery, has armor on his recovery, can use bombs to get out of, can use grenades to get out of combos, can use them to be reversed to not get juggled. Super engaging. You have to be on point to combo your grenade explosions into your up air, into a back air in order to get damage that is not just trading hits. Very unique kit where one of the best trappers in the game with C4, with combos that you can combo into projectiles. You can launch your Nikita into the air, try to catch somebody and back throw into the Nikita, and then when they bounce back, do a up air. All those stuff. Many characters in the game don't have combos that do with projectiles. Hype move will be your C4. Somebody shielding on the platform, you plant the C4 on them, and then you do some goofy combos and you C4 them off the top platform, top blast zone. That is mega hype. Snake is the premier zoning character that you can play as a solo main. So congrats Snake, you go into S tier. Next up is Sonic. Besides the ear-grating sound effects that Sonic does, his moves are just so poorly designed. It's suffering from Ridley problem. There is so many cool moves that Sonic can be doing. Like if you play any Sonic game 1, 2, 3, there is this PCs where you can get power up from, like a bubble that lets you double jump. like a lightning that draws people in, that draws magnetic things in. There's fire that lets you do an air dash. Why doesn't Sonic have any of those? Can you imagine a world where a Sonic, his down B is to pop a random buff, and you get a random buff, like you get a fire buff, you get a lightning buff, you get a water buff, and those buff changes your game plan just like Shock does, you know? Imagine you don't have a second spin dash, and your neutral B is determined by whatever your bubble you have. Like if you do a neutral B when you have no bubbles, you just do like a, you know, I don't know, like a flip kick or something. But if you have like a bubble buff and you press neutral B, you do like a triple jump that doesn't cause your double jump, or you can just infinitely bounce with the bubble. If you have the lightning one, you press neutral B, it actually draws people in, or it pushes people out, whatever you feel like. And then you have the fire one, you press neutral B and you do like a flare blitz. That will make Sonic so much more fun to play. So despite everything, Sonic is so boring to play because all of his move feels the same. Yeah, like when you grab somebody, what throw are you going to do? Is it up throw? Is it forward throw? Is it back throw? No, it's going to be down throw every single time. So and then at the end of the day, your up air doesn't even work. So it's a boring character with move that doesn't work. I can't believe this went through testing phase. I'm pretty sure that Nintendo just want to spite Sonic as a Sega mascot. They just want to make Sonic super low appeal. Okay. Rant on Sonic over. Let's go to Zero Suit Samus. Zero Suit Samus definitely gets the engaging because besides being a very good setup trapper, she also plays the opponent's game. Extremely good disadvantage state with the flip kick. Basically, you never have to worry about having to recover, having to being juggled. If you get hit, you shrug it off, you reset neutral, and you play your game again. Hype move, maybe Nair into down B, maybe but that is quite straightforward. So I would say not so much on the hype move, and not so much unique, but just a very solid game plan character. Okay, the only thing holding her back is actually lack of combos. Her combos are not too reliable. Her up air chain into up B sometimes doesn't work, some characters fall out of it. So A tier. Zero Suit Samus, very good character. If she actually had like her version 1 Nair and stuff, she would be S tier. She would be like such a good character to play, but she kind of got nerfed a little bit, so now she's only A tier. The nerfs did cause her how fun it is to play her. Next one is Min Min. I know plenty of people hate playing against Min Min, but the fun thing is about this tier list is that we are not talking about playing against it, but we are talking about playing as it. Okay, so playing as Min Min is quite fun. So very unique character with 2 smash attacks that you can use. Okay, got some good reflectors, not too hype, but you know, effective. You would think Min Min's game plan is really just zone, but I would say thinking about the right way to win those interactions without enemy having any chance to fight back is quite Min Min's game plan. And if you are into that, you picked Min Min, you would be engaged into it. So it's not so much defensive play, it's more of extreme neutral game. The only thing is that when the opponent is off stage, you kind of, you know, go into spam down angle ram all day. There's not much thought process going down there. So Min Min having some cool stuff like a reflector, like a cool unique game plan goes into B tier. Now we are almost towards the end. Toon Link. Toon Link is the other character that has oh, excuse me. Yeah, Toon Link is the other character that can combo all of projectiles. Toon Link can combo out of projectiles, making him one of the few characters that can do that alongside Richter, alongside Snake, and Pac-Man. Does he have hype moves? Not so much. The moves are actually quite basic looking. Every Link has the same looking moves. Has quite a good disadvantage actually. So the bomb recovery and the up B plus the tether recovery, quite hard to deal with. So his disadvantage state is actually quite good. His stall and fall, his down air is super hard to punish as well. And his up B is safer than it looks. The recovery frames on the up B out of shield is super short, very hard to punish, almost impossible to punish online. And also, if the person forgets and they don't block the whole thing, they're going to get hit by every single hit, and you take free damage. So the Toon Link technically is supposed to be not as fun as the Adult Link, because Adult Link has so much more item stuff going on it. But then, in order to play Toon Link and win, you actually have to use all of his stuff. So actually, Toon Link goes to B tier. Toon Link goes to B tier because like I said, using his full kit is the way to win. Next up is Wario. Wario, we just put hype move here because we all know what Wario does. He farts on you and you are sad. Okay, now that Wario has been nerfed so severely, I am going to give him the underdog tag because, rip the 2-stock legend, where everybody say fighting Wario is like you have a 2-stock game, but now that's not true anymore. You can just air dodge out of the Waff most of the time. The setup in order to get a true Waff combo on the 3rd stock is so much more difficult now. Okay, engagement, because of his poor hurt boxes, he has to space his moves out very well. However, he gets a point deducted for having like really bad jab and really bad down smash. But then again, it's fun to down smash is like so bad that I would say it goes into the echelons, the pantheon of hype moves. Unique because Wario can actually summon. He's the only character that can summon heavy objects into the game. All other characters summon light objects like bombs, like bananas, like books, like peanuts, like wood blocks. Those are light objects, but Wario, he can summon heavy objects. That makes the game very different because some character can actually operate heavy objects very well. As for example, if you're playing against a person with Windbox, they can launch the bike and use like the Windbox, like Hydro Pump, like the Flood, and really do some funny stuff with the bike. So super fun. Recovery has a pretty good recovery. The bike is quite hard to punish. There's so much options you can do to mix up your recoveries. So Wario gets S tier. Wario is very, very fun to play. He would have went to A tier if not for the for the nerfs. After he got nerfed so badly, he gets the underdog status. Okay, let me take a sip of water. What? Okay, next up, Wii Fit Trainer. Wii Fit Trainer is actually the first character I mained in this Smash Ultimate. And I wanted to play Wii Fit because he looks so funny doing yoga poses on everybody. Okay. Problem with Wii Fit is his hitboxes are so bad. You cannot hit anybody with his like small finger jabs out. Okay, but then again, he has a very hype move known as deep breathing.
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
Yeah. the sausage fingers. Yeah, or the little pinky. Yeah,
little pinky.
It's basically the Michelle from Everything All at Once with the pinky power. You have to hit people with pinkies. But deep breathing is very hype. Forward tilt killing at 80% in mid stage. Sign me up. Right now, super low tier because of the poor hitboxes. I'm going to give him the underdog tag. Engagement, I would say he's more of setups. In order for you to land the neutral air, it's actually quite hard. So engagement, I'm going to give him quite a lot. The myth of Wii Fit Trainer just running off stage and spamming projectiles at you is not true, because playing like this, what are you gonna do? The opponent's just gonna shield on stage until you make a mistake, you get 2 framed and you die. Okay, so in order for Wii Fit Trainer to actually win, they really need to rush you down. They really need to get in on their poor hitboxes and start to do their 0 to deaths. So Wii Fit Trainer, quite engaging to play. Has quite a good off-stage game with a good range on the up B, goes quite far. Side B can stall quite well, and using deep breathing you can also increase your stalling potential. So he has quite a good disadvantage state. Unique character, I would say quite unique because they are the only character that you can actually heal reliably, but then it's like so small, so maybe not. So Wii Fit Trainer, B tier. Oh, Wolf is up. Wolf is the fundamental character of Smash. If you talk about fundamentals, you talk about Bowser, you talk about like the thing of 4 airs, up B out of shields, grab when the opponent is shielding. Those are the movement fundamentals, attack fundamentals. Where the Wolf is between Bowser and between Pikachu of doing the advanced techniques. Wolf is all about the mid-tier techniques where you start doing tech chase, you start doing combos out of shield, you start doing small combos from fair into down air, fair into bear. Where in order for this character to work, Wolf players have to start to learn how to do reverse aerials. So Wolf is like a bridge between the basic fundamentals and the advanced mechanics. So Wolf, I would say A tier. Extremely fun, extremely fun. Next up is Yoshi. I haven't played too much Yoshi. I haven't get into it, but Yoshi has recently been discovered to have quite a reliable shield break setup. Yoshi also have a very good disadvantage state, having armor on his double jump, has a projectile to zone people out a little bit, and good hitboxes on the back airs. So the new discovery of shield break has given him actually a hype move on his side B. Normally side B has been touted as one of the worst move in the game, but now it has a use, and it has such a like a powerful situation to use that it puts Yoshi side B into the tier of like, you know, Warlock Punch. So it's pretty cool, pretty cool. Okay, unique? No, his moves are super basic. Okay, so Yoshi ends up being actually a B tier character. Now that before the discovery of the shield break setup, I would have put Yoshi in straight up in the D tier. for just being a basic character that you press aerials on. But now, Yoshi does have some cool stuff going for it. Next up, we go into Young Link territory. Young Link, the bane of online, fire arrows into up air. Everybody knows that. Not unique, not hype. Standard recovery. It's a little bit worse than Toon Link's. Toon Link has a slightly better up B. The angle where you can hit him from above is, I think, a little bit smaller. I don't know. I felt that when I try to edge guard Toon Link, I always fail. Okay, but Toon Link is the premium zoner. Actually, just fire arrows and it works. But because of that, you kind of just flowchart into your game plan of being a standard zoner. You know, go through the flowchart. If somebody hits you, you up B. You know, if somebody is away from you, you arrow them. You know, the standard stuff. It's so standard that I cannot bring myself to play this character. Okay, now we are finally here at Zelda. Gwen, what do you think about this character?
She's the coolest character in the game.
What about her moves? How do you find her moves?
Her moves are very pretty and impressive.
Oh, okay. So aesthetic wise, we already have some points. Okay. For Zelda, her unique kit comes from the fact that she has frame 1 super powerful aerials. She also have a shield break setup from her ledge cancel up B. You drop a armor, you drop a phantom at the middle of the stage. You wait for the opponent to neutral gallop and shield. You up B over into the edge, you ledge cancel it, and then when the phantom hits, you double jump back from the ledge cancel and do a back air. It shield breaks immediately with no way for the opponent to drop shield, and then from there you can charge your super powerful forward smash. You can even neutral B after the forward smash, because why not? Everybody does that. Okay, so that is actually pretty hype because you get to do shield break setup. Zelda, the unique move, I would say her up B. Her up B is a very good recovery tool and also a crazy good up B out of shield option, which kills. Most up B out of shield don't kill. So if the person accidentally DI incorrectly, you can actually just kill them at 90% from somebody touching your shield. Has a reflector that also doubles as a close range counter move because of the invincibility it has. It's very good for covering recoveries of characters that goes straight up, and also if the opponent is bad at attacking, it's a free kill. So her disadvantage state being floaty actually lets her escape combos a lot. Zelda's hurt box actually is pretty weird. She is super skinny when she's in the air, so it's actually quite difficult to combo her. Engagement a little bit fall short because you kind of have to fish for stuff. Even though your grab is bad, you're low percentage, you kind of have to try to get some grabs from Zelda by playing Zelda, which is quite difficult actually. You always almost just exclusively summon Phantom and wait for the opponent to make a move. So for engagement purpose, she's actually quite flowcharty as well. But you know, her flowchart is quite cool to play. As a low tier character right now, she definitely gets the underdog thing.
Yay!
What else about Zelda you like?
What else about Zelda?
You can control all the moves.
Yeah.
You can control them, right?
All her special, you can control them.
Yeah.
freely.
Her specials form are very freeform. You can choose different versions of the phantoms to execute. You can angle your side B, yeah, and you can also change the direction in where you teleport with your up B. You can even teleport, you know, directly where you teleport straight down. You just reappear where you did to do a feint. So Zelda is a very brain space character. So
His brain space.
you gotta think about what you're doing. You can't just like yeah, you can't just rush down people like a Roy main. Okay. So I would say we can put Zelda in A tier.
Yay! Yay!
Zelda does suffer from problems where if the person is playing like a super rushdown, you cannot get your setups going. You have to scramble against them with Zelda's poor close range kits. So if Zelda did have her down tilt from Smash 4, she would actually be in S tier because she will gain some really good combo potentials. But in Smash Ultimate, she doesn't have too much combos. So A tier. Next up, Pyra Mythra. Pyra Mythra is that pair of characters that when they revealed, I was so confused. What is this character? This character is not a Pokemon trainer. You switch characters, but when you basically you take Lucina and you take Ike together, so it's not unique. So Pokemon trainer always does that. It's too strong, so it's not underdog. Has absolutely no hype move. All of the move is just sword strikes. Like you think about hype move like Pyra using her side B into footstool into stuff. No, that's not hype. That is like just more side V. And if the side B hits and you don't footstool, what's it gonna do? It's just you use a move to waste 3 seconds of both players' time. It doesn't kill. It's super predictable, and you can't even follow up anything from it. So this character is extremely boring to play. You don't even get any combos from the character swap. You know, it would be cool if you implement a character like Pokemon Trainer where switching between them allows for new combos. That would be so cool. But you don't get anything. You just pick this character if you cannot decide whether to play Lucina or Ike. That's basically this character. Next up is our very final DLC character reviewed, which is Sora. When Sora was first reviewed, I was so hyped for Sora because, you know, I'm a Bayo main and Sora is basically Bayo with a sword. And yeah, basically he is. But then he becomes such a floaty character and he kind of have the properties of a Bayo character, but also you can't make use of it fully because you don't get back down to air fast enough for you to chain long extended combos. So it ends up Sora became a whiff punish character, and he's extremely fun to play offline. But the thing is, online Sora is like the most boring character to play. But let's try to give credit to the best version of the character possible, which is offline. So as a whiff punish character, he's very engaging to play. You have to watch your opponent's moves and then you nair them into a big combo out of their poor offenses. Unique with that he cycles around his neutral B, and the cycling of the neutral B actually makes Sora player have to plan out the order of their attack. So in order for you to be able to kill with Thunder, you have to stay on Firaga, the fire. Use the fire to drift forward into attack chase scenario or a grab. You down throw and do some combos, and then you catch air dodge with a B reverse Thunder. So that is how intricate Sora's game plan has to be. You have to think 3 or 4 steps ahead of your opponent for you to work. So that is actually pretty engaging for it. Hype moves, it doesn't have too much hype moves. Maybe like a super late sour spot up air into up B, but nah, It's not too hype. You can't even reliably combo up B into side B because they specifically make it so that you cannot combo it. So not much hype move involved. Very good disadvantage state, having one of the best recovery in the game and good air options. Neutral air is quite hard to punish. Forward air hits quite far, and down air is actually also quite difficult to punish, having such an active hitbox and also a big landing hitbox. So Sora actually turns out to be a very fun character to play. I'll put him in A tier. Can we promote any character up to S? Maybe not, but A tier is getting quite a lot of love right now. Next up, next up is Gruntilda the Banjo-Kazooie. Man, everybody was asking for this character for so long, and when Smash finally revealed him, nobody plays him. Underdog, bad character, cannot kill, and the zoning actually isn't even that strong. Why play Banjo-Kazooie when you can just play Snake? A pretty good recovery actually, and side B into side B as a recovery also very difficult to punish. You can also use bomb to infinitely use your up B, so you can almost guaranteed to recover from anywhere. In a disadvantaged state, you can also use grenades to cover your disadvantaged state. So if you play Banjo-Kazooie, you're always playing the game, but you're not playing that much, because in order for you to land your hype move, you have to go through the hoops of catching the grenade, always having to do B reverse with your down B, which is frankly so tiring to do. I play Banjo-Kazooie sometimes, and in order for me to reliably throw my down B towards the opponent, I have to do so much B reverse just to do neutral options, and frankly it's too tiring. Okay, so Banjo-Kazooie D tier. There is a reason why nobody plays you. Next up, Hero. Hero is our random character, much like our Game & Watch here, but the difference between the Game & Watch is that the randomness in Hero is actually pretty bad. Sometimes you top deck Hocus Pocus and you put yourself to sleep, which is pretty funny. Quite an underdog because I would say Hero is considered a low tier. He has problems where some of his moves are just objectively terrible. Like up air is so bad, up smash is also so bad. Like these moves really does nothing. You cannot reliably use it. There is no reason to use Hero's up air when your forward air covers a good area above you as well. But I definitely have to say, Hocus Pocus is super hype. I want to see characters turning into giants, you know, characters falling asleep, characters going invisible in a Smash game. That is actually pretty funny. And I'm not even like angry with like the smash attacks having critical hits and stuff, you know. His smash attacks are not that fast, so if you get hit by them, you deserve to get criticaled. So actually, Hero, with all his nonsense, is super fun to play competitively. So S tier you go. Hero is pretty fun, especially when you get to magic burst people when they're trying to get back to Lich. Terry is the character I tried to play on a hitbox. I could do super cool combos like down tilt, up tilt, power geyser, and frame perfect F tilt into Buster Wolf, which actually is a true combo. If you do it super fast, it's actually pretty fun, pretty crazy to play this character on the hitbox. His moves actually has quite, out of all the Shoto, the fighting game characters, Terry has the best hitboxes. His forward air, his nair, his down air all actually has a quite respectable hitbox. So you kind of can challenge people who are playing sword characters with Terry. His F tilt is also such a good F tilt. Okay, giving Terry access to a unique side special of having 2 different side specials also grants him much more options when he's fighting in neutral. Combo wise, neutral wise, crack shoot is such a good move. And once you land the rising nair, you can cancel into what do you call it? Burn Narco. Making this character one of the how to say, his combos are short but they work. Unlike Ken, where your combos are long and cool, but sometimes it doesn't work against some character. Okay, so Terry actually gets S tier. Terry actually gets S tier because you also get a hype move. Okay, wait, you know what? I need to put everything there for you first. Okay. Have unique because you have 2 side Bs and both of them are useful. Okay, he has quite a bad recovery, I would say, but the thing is, his game plan is really one that really plays like a 2D fighting game character. With a good F tilt that forces people to play a spacing game, Terry plays the most footsies out of all of the Shoto characters. You would say, oh, Ken and Ryu have good F tilt as well, but those F tilts lead into things that it's really difficult to visually conform into it. You do like what do you call it? Dash cancel F tilt with Ken. You hit the F tilt, you have to so fast do a reverse back air to conform into it, and after that after the reverse back air, you have to do a B reverse Hadouken to continue the combo. And what damage you do like what, 30%. But Terry, you F tilt, you see the person get hit, you immediately confirm into burn narco and it kills. And maybe not kills straight away, but it puts the opponent in such a bad situation. And that is actually an easy combo, and you can actually reliably do that consistently. So that's why Terry gets the benefit of being the most fun 2D fighting game character out there. Next up, we have our H-Boy Sephiroth. I've been playing this character for quite a bit offline recently, and I really love this character's design. At first, I think that the neutral B was like so poor, it's such a terrible move. But as I slowly come to develop some skills for doing a winged B reverse to do some trick movements, use the B reverse of neutral B to set up back airs off stage, allowing me to travel into the wall without burning my double jump, and also turning behind to do back airs off stage is such a good edge guard tool. I really started to love neutral B much more. Not to mention, fully charged neutral B after a shield break is pretty hype. Disadvantage state, even though his recovery is quite straightforward, is not that good, Sephiroth has the benefit of this DLC mechanic of one wing angel, where he gets a wing and he gets double jump and he becomes so fast. So a lot of times you are losing, you get gimped off stage, all of a sudden you get the wing and oh, I can recover, and the opponent is always cursing at it. Wow, this is stupid, this is DLC privilege. Yes, and that is Sephiroth's benefit. engagement, if you play online, Sephiroth is spam back air until the person get hits. Not very fun. But if you play offline, Sephiroth is the with punish character out of spacing. Like, I know there is Min Min, but Min Min, you know, because Min Min's arms are so safe, there is no reason for her to not be using them at all times. But for Sephiroth, very long swords, very good hitboxes, but the frame datas are lacking. So in order for you to capitalize on the good hitboxes, you kind of have to be a little bit, you know, thrifty about throwing your moves out. So Sephiroth, very engaging character to play. Also, once you hit the tech chase, Sephiroth has so many cool tech chase scenarios to do. You jab block, jump back, and then you charge your up B. You can cover all three options of tech in place, tech out, and roll in. And that, you know, is one of the most beautiful things you can do with any sword characters, is to do cool tech chase stuff. Unique character, I would say Sephiroth's uniqueness comes from the fact of his side B. He's very cool minus on hit move. So many times where I hit the move and I get forward smashed. But the side B makes it so that the paradigm of the game changes the moment it lands on the opponent. Now the opponent has to worry about this external factor that is almost similar to items on, you know, like the sticky bomb that you throw onto somebody and it sticks on the person and it explodes after a few seconds. That item is so crazy because anybody who has it fundamentally has to play differently. They have to either go all out, try to trade with hits with Sephiroth, or they have to play defensively, which allows Sephiroth to stop trying to whiff punish and just go aggressive and throw out moves that supposedly should be punishable but now is not. So when you come to the situation where you are allowed to use forward smash in neutral game, it's always extremely fun. So Sephiroth gets S tier. I really enjoy playing Sephiroth. Next up is this character that everybody has problems with. This is actually, I feel like, the Bayonetta of the Bayo of Smash Ultimate. If you compare it to like Smash 4 Bayo. Smash 4 we have Bayos, Smash Ultimate we have Kazuya. But Kazuya is such a non-engaging character to play. He has so many ways to just armor through or straight up invincibility through opponent's moves. You go near him, you try to, like, you know, do your spacing game, he just electric you and you get hit. No matter how good your spacing is, if the Kazuya decides to do electric or decide to do the DP motion into special, that sweep kick into a uppercut punch, which is also invincible, you just straight up lose. And if you don't swing at him, he just doesn't swing at you back. And then if you block, you try to whiff punish him, you try to hit him out of shield, electric is just going to push you out so far that you can't even grab him. So this character, if he is doing his stuff, you cannot do your stuff. You only way for you to win is to, for some reason, he decide to do a move that is extremely punishable and you punish him. But if the Kazuya player is playing optimally, he will just never do it. He will just never do anything other than electric, you know. So Kazuya, being such a good character, having such long strings of cool zero to death combos, is not fun to play, not fun to watch, because like, when are you going to do like the 4 spin kicks? What do you call it? Like I don't know, the demon tornado or whatever, where you do like a diagonal up motion and you press attack 4 times. When are you going to do that move? Why would you do that move if you landed side B? If you land a side B, you can do that move, but I would just do the standard you know, the tripping kick into the uppercut kick 1 into electric and then into forward smash. Like, you will always want to do that. In neutral, after you grab, after you down throw, is there any reason to not do electric? No, never. So you give this character all of these moves, but there is never a reason to use any of it, and I think that is actually very poor design. But I'm going to put him at cool for 5 minutes because, you know, sometimes you just want to whip out Kazuya, try to do a 0 to death, and then, you know, call it a day. So Kazuya, you get C tier. Joker. Joker is the first DLC character of Smash Ultimate that everybody got so hyped for. He has such a unique kit with his neutral B. He has what do you call it? He has the, it's basically good Sheik on version 1 or version 2 when he's released. He has all of the Sheik's benefit of being fast, good frame data, safe moves, and a projectile that is useful. But then, if I was to be playing Joker, his optimal stuff of drag down, down smash, down angled gun to gimp recoveries has already been figured out. So the Joker is one of those characters that is on paper supposed to play like Sheik, but in practice is super flowcharty. Giving him such a safe back air and such a safe neutral air just made him like, you know, the character where, oh, I have advantage, I have safe moves that leads into crazy stuff, I have a very good grab, so I'm just going to play my game. I throw out moves until you start to block, and then I grab you, and then I do my stuff, and then I rinse and repeat. So end up, even though Joker has a very unique and a very good disadvantage state to play, you kind of end up just playing him for a while before you get bored of doing the same thing over and over again. Like up tilt. Up tilt is such a cool move. It's such an active move that covers the platform. But the thing is, up air drag down into up smash is just always better. So it falls into the situation where, you know, Joker has optimal moves that has been figured out too fast. You know, until now, if you see all MKLeo's Joker stuff, that is how you play the character. Like there's no hidden tech that people will do. For example, I'm still talking about Joker right now. Like that move where you do your gun and then you hold left or right to do like a roll that is not invincible, and then you continue the gun. That move looks so fun because the animation is so cool, but you almost never do it, because even if you try to do it to do like a sliding grab, you are not invincible, and the gun doesn't have hitbox long enough for you to, you know, keep the person blocking. So despite having a lot of cool moves built into the Joker's kit, you kind of are disincentivized to use any of it. So B tier. Last character. If you guys have not watched my half an hour long video on why I love Bayo so much in this game, let me just do a quick rundown again. Okay, Bayo is low tier or mid tier at best right now, so she get the underdog pass. She has been nerfed so badly in this game. Her landing lag after doing 2 side Bs and 2 up Bs is horrendous. It's almost like a full second. People can just run up and charge up smash on her. So this character, and not to mention her down B, the startup is more than 10 frames. It is, you can read the opponent like a book. You press down B to counter their moves, and they hit you anyway because the down B is just that slow. So the character has problems right now. Her fastest move being frame 5, the witch twist. normally you don't want to use it out of shield because all it does is do a few damage, and you know, that's boring. Her cool moves that starts fast, the faster ones will be frame 7, down tilt, up tilt, and that's actually considered quite slow in Smash terms, because Smash people have frame 3, frame 2, frame 1 moves. So frame 7 for her fastest move is atrocious. But then, because of all her bad moves, once you land one of these moves, there is like so many ways to continue your combo, doing up to 80% per hit. From any stray hits, you can combo people up to 80% if you know what you're doing. And also, in order for you to do that combo, you have to read the opponent's DI. You have to know their weight class. You have to know their hitboxes. And you also have to know if they have like frame 4 air dodge or frame 3 air dodge. All this kind of thing like goes into so much into your execution in how to do damage with Bayo. I find it super engaging. And there's like infinite things for you to lab out for this character. Next up, disadvantage state. Disadvantage state, this character has none, because first of all, you never go into free fall. You can always do anything out of any of your aerial moves, your up B, your side B, your down B. And giving her such a good dive kick, the 45-degree angle is almost exclusively for Bayo in this game. There is besides like Richter's holy water, you know, like that projectiles that goes like diagonal down, like T-Jolt, like Mario's fireball. There is very few moves in this game that goes diagonally downwards, and that is a very rare privilege that Bayo has, having a super fast dive kick that goes that way. So she has premium monopoly on those kind of moves. Next up, hype moves. Okay, her hype moves are not like any one move, but I would say her hype moves will be her 0 to death combos, her witch time, you know, custom combo clips. Those are pretty hype. You know, unlike in Smash 4, for you to be able to 0 to death somebody in with Bayonetta in Smash Ultimate is actually pretty difficult. You either have to really got into the head of the person's DI, or the opponent messed up and they DI the wrong way. And the execution part of doing your reverse up air into fast fall into instant double jump up air into your rest of your special moves is actually pretty difficult to do. And if you can land it, it's pretty impressive. Unique, I would say Bayo's has this small unique feature where her bullet arts, her moves that you hold it down that shoots the bullets, they can use it for some cheesy situations where you can cause people to whiff their punish. You can edge guard much better. So Bayo is, for me, the most fun character in the game, and I cannot stop playing Bayo. So that's it. This is my tier list for Smash Ultimate, competitive tier list based on how fun the characters are to play and to win. Thank you everybody for joining the stream. This has been quite a long stream. Okay, I didn't even notice that it took 3 hours. Oh my goodness.
What?
Okay. That's all for today. See you guys next time.